This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion. Here, I waited. I actually woke up. It's going to be a good Saturday. I've tried to make it a good Saturday, and so far so good. Just got to do this video, get it up, get a couple comments back to you guys, and then head across town to go get Tim's. That's the plan. Now, with that said, we have 10 minutes dedicated right now where we have to go and discuss something that Owen in the comments, guys, Owen's been in the comments for a while, and he proposed something and I gut reacted. And I mean, I do that often, don't get me wrong, I know I do that often, but the fact that I was able to, as soon as I gut reacted and got the comment back from Owen, the reply, wait a second, hold on, I've already argued this, yes, but wait a minute. Why would I go against myself like that when I've already said something could potentially happen like that? And this all goes back to, obviously, on draft day, well, second day of the draft, when Patrick Marleau was dealt to the Carolina Hurricanes, and literally Toronto gave him a first-round pick and took back a sixth for Patrick Marleau in a first. Well, guys, that was kind of the precedent for any Milan Lucic move. Now, Owen came in and said, well, hold on. We don't have to do Milan Lucic in a first plus to get rid of Lucic. And this is exactly where I kind of get in with it. He proposed Milan Lucic, Jesse Puljujärvi for a seventh. And you know me, I absolutely love arguing just trade him for the seventh. Just trade him for the seventh. It's not worth our time. So you look at that, you do the math on that, and this is where it's going to get really fun for us, because if you do the math on a guy like Jesse Puljujärvi, right, what's supposed to be the return? The return's supposed to be at minimum a third line scoring winger. At minimum. And I mean, this is a guy in return that's been in the NHL, probably won in the NHL, that kind of deal. But then what kind of return do you get if you attach the anchor of Milan Lucic? And that's the question now, right? Obviously, you're looking as high as a third-line winger or centerman for Jesse Puljujärvi. Well, okay, you attach the anchor of Milan Lucic, and you're lucky to get a fifth-round pick, in essence, right? Obviously, because if you could trade Milan Lucic for a seventh-round pick, it would have already been done at this point. That's to Owen's point about the trade with Marleau to the Hurricanes. So, okay, rationalize this with me and just make sense of it. We've heard that discussions on Puljujärvi when it comes to Ken Holland don't begin unless Lucic is attached. This may or may not be true. That's just something that's been thrown out there on Twitter a couple of dozens of times. So, you start looking at it, okay, well, obviously, what do you gain if you're the Edmonton Oilers trading Jesse Puljujärvi and Milan Lucic for a seventh? And I think it's very clear. You gain the fact that you don't have the problem hanging over anymore in Jesse Puljujärvi, but bigger yet, you gain the years and the ability to do so much without Milan Lucic. That's huge. That's huge. And I'm not, again, this is something I have to say. This is nothing personal against Milan. It's all just based on how the Oilers roster has to be constructed in the next 2 to 3 to 4 years. He doesn't fit. And that's the reality of the situation. I mean, Milan Lucic on a $1.75 million deal? Sign me up. Don't get me wrong. Honestly, if they buy him out somewhere in wherever he gets traded to, if this kind of trade were to happen, sign me up. I'd go 1.5, 1.75. Oh man, buddy, I'd be in there. I'd be in there, no problem. That's a good deal for Milan Lucic, especially when if any of you try to argue the whole protection of Connor McDavid thing. Don't get me wrong. I will take it all day. However, at $6 million for what's being produced at this point, and honestly, yeah, you know what? You're getting some production. I make it seem as such that you're getting zero production out of Milan Lucic. You're still getting 20-ish points. Well, that's not bad considering what the Oilers had for offense last year. However, the thing is, he looks so awful out there. He just looks terrible on the ice, night in, night out. And I mean, yeah, okay, you pot a point, you feel good about yourself, go back to the locker room and still look awful the next game, right? So, ouch, right? Ouch. You got to realize maybe it's not all sunshine and roses when you come to Milan Lucic and what he brings to the team for what he pretty much subtracts, if you get where I'm going. So, to subtract, yes, a Puljujärvi who literally doesn't want to be here, who literally wants to go to Europe, who literally just wants to be a distraction at this point of the offseason, why not? Why not, right? Why wouldn't you try to do a deal in which you solve two problems at once? That's the beauty of this deal. You solve two problems at once, plus you get the chance to open up that cap space this year, and then next year for Nuge, Nurse, and the list goes on, right? Obviously, it's going to be an interesting time because you look at the Oilers roster into next year. I'm just going to bring this up, and then I'll bring up my point of teams that I think could possibly take Lucic. You've got Sam Gagner as an UFA, so that right there, that's huge for us, especially if Gagner doesn't get traded or doesn't pan out this year. Then you've got Kazian as a UFA, you've got Granlund as a UFA, you've got Brodziak as a UFA, Nygaard as a UFA, God, I hope he works out. You've got Yurko as a UFA, you've got Colby Cave as an RFA, God, I hope Colby Cave comes in and actually does something this year, awesomely. And then on the defense, you've got Nurse, obviously Manning, but he should be gone by now anyway. Benning, who knows what Benning's going to do, and of course Joel Person as well. And then Mike Smith, a UFA in net. Problem is, you go down to the minors, you've got Nolan Vesey, Gaetan Haas, Cameron Hebig, Brad Malone, Patrick Russell, Josh Curry who's supposed to get in there, Logan Day, William Legason, Caleb Jones, Ethan Bear, Keegan Lowe. So right there you guys got, and Shane Starrett as well, also a UFA or RFA. So that's a lot of names, right? That's a lot of names that might have something to do with the Oilers roster this year that will need contracts. Not necessarily a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but it is kind of a weird thing to sit there and realize how many contracts we have to dole out next year. And then the big thing is, just because Nuge's name was not on that list, remember Nuge's name not on that list, however, you've got to extend him sometime in the offseason this time next year. You can't wait for a season to get underway and things to crap the bed and all of a sudden you're looking at losing Nuge for a terrible, terrible deadline deal. Can't do it. Can't lose all of the big three, especially when Nuge has done everything he's done for us as the Oilers. So let me get the cap space I am talking about here. Where is it? Sorry guys, lost my spot. Cap space mess. Goalies, Gallagher trade. Bottom cap teams. There we go. That's what I titled it. And bingo. Okay, so I bring that up over my head, but I will bring this up for you guys right there. Bang. So that's what you're looking at. That's your cap. This rate here is your cap number right now, and that's your cap remaining for these teams. Obviously, we'll get to it, right? Calgary, guys to sign. Boston, guys to sign. Carolina, somebody who could do it. They've already bought out Marleau, but the fact is they could easily keep Lucic on the roster. You don't have Ferland. Maybe you want to do it. Who knows? So Carolina is the team. I don't know Minnesota's situation, but Minnesota 42 contracts, possibly a team that could do it. And then you've got Los Angeles. I mean, a return for Lucic. Back with McClellan. Why not? St. Louis, probably not. Philadelphia, probably not. Columbus, probably not. And New Jersey, I mean, Columbus actually Columbus might, because now they're in that mode where they have to get something good in return for everything they've given away. And you give up a 7th round pick, you're not giving up anything much at all, and you're getting 2 roster players. Maybe that's Columbus's idea. New Jersey, probably not. And then you've got in the bottom tiers here, you've got Ottawa. That's the one that everybody seems to go off of. Ottawa seems to be the play for a Milan Lucic trade. That's what we've been saying since like December at this point. So why not? Winnipeg, definitely not. We know the situation. Laine, Connor, a couple other guys. And Colorado, I don't know what Colorado's situation is. Let's go visit that, because this just doesn't make sense that Colorado's got so much free space, but I think Mikko Rantanen needs a contract, doesn't he? That's the issue right there. So, yeah, never mind. I know what's going on with Colorado. Guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. Owen comes up with the idea. I talk about it, open it up to discussion with you guys today. Let me know what your thoughts are. Is the best move for a Jesse Puljujärvi deal a Milan Lucic trade in the same breath, and then end up just taking back a 7th to get rid of the Lucic contract and at least get something in return, right? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I am up on out of here.